Hello everyone, welcome to Raaonline. I am Dr. Neela Bhattacharya. I am a plastic and reconstructive surgeon based in Siliguri, West Bengal. Today we will be touching upon a topic which is the bread and butter of various plastic surgery practices across the world, and a very important problem which has a lot of misconceptions among the lay people: burns and how to handle burns when you meet them. We are going to have a guide map of this class, and this is how it is going to go. How do burns occur and why is it so devastating? What are the types of burns and how do we assess a burn victim? I'm only going to touch upon chemical burns and electrical burns because all of them by itself, each of them is one full class. And then what are the steps in management and how do we go about it? So how do burns occur? Right. These are the various types of burns. A burn which occurs because of a hot liquid is called a scald. And that is a very common cause of burns in children. Among the adults, the most common type of burn is because of dry heat, and that is called flame burn. Among electricians, you have a type of burn called flash electric burn when they come into contact with a high voltage, and this is a flash burn. When they come near, then the electricity just sparks like that, or it can be a high voltage contact burn. And when there is chemical splash on the body and immediately the corrosion of the chemical produces a burn, it is called a chemical burn. And of course, there is a variety called radiation burns, which is very deadly and which we try to avoid at all costs. These are the nuclear burns that we know about, a radiation burn, which we try to avoid. So coming to the types of burns, I told you the flame burn is the most common burn that we see, followed by scalds, which is caused by hot liquids, and then you have the electrical burns, and then the chemical burn. Chemical burn is about 10% of the burn injury that we see. So the reasons are mostly it is in our country suicide. The people, ladies, more so the ladies, and sometimes even men find that committing suicide by immolating themselves is a common way to die, and therefore we see this as the most common etiology of burns in our country. Sometimes it is homicide. Sometimes it is rare, an accident, which is mostly cooking accidents, and that usually results from hot oil or hot water which splashes onto the body. An accident burn is usually about 15%, not more than that. The common reason everybody says cause the burn is a stove burst, but that almost never happens. So it is a myth. You have to understand, when a person comes with a nearly 50-60% burns and says it is because of a stove burst, then the etiology is most commonly suicide, and we will have to elicit the history for that. So where do the burns commonly occur? Sad to say that most of the time it is in the home. Sometimes in the workplace, like electrical accidents. Sometimes when there is a public gathering going on and then they have not taken enough measures for fire safety, you can have a burn accident. And then the other reasons, maybe chemicals, etc., are quite rare causes of burns. So most commonly burns occurs in the home. Right. Why is a burn injury so devastating? Why are plastic surgeons so intent on teaching the mechanics of the burn and what to do in a burn? Now, this is a picture which you see of an entirely burnt skin which is completely scarred. Now we will find out why do we give so much emphasis on a burn injury. For that, we'll have to know the anatomy of the skin. Now, the skin is composed of two layers. One is the epidermis, which is the outer portion of the skin, and that is essentially a layer which does not have any blood vessel in it, and this is supplied by a vascular dermal portion of the skin. The dermal portion has blood capillaries, has nerve endings, has the hair follicle, along with a basement membrane and cells which help in regeneration of the skin if suppose a burns. Okay, so the skin has two important layers. One is the epidermis and the dermis. And the dermis is divided into two more layers. The upper dermis, which has all these papillae present, is called the papillary dermis, whereas the lower one, which has a lot of reticular fibers along with blood vessels and nerve cells, is called the reticular dermis. So this is the anatomy of the skin.